start with Annie Costable sometimes.
Hey, James, third straight season clinching a spot in the playoffs. What does this mean to this organization and the players and the coaching staff that make up this team?
For the players, I think it gives them confidence, especially starting the season off how we started. For the organization, I think it, only adds to, the value of what we stand for. And I think, we stand for a lot of things, but, seeing us as a team that's consistently in the playoffs and consistently fighting and competing and trying to do our best and just showing up to work, just like the citizens of Chicago, I think it means a lot.
What was the biggest difference maker between tonight's performance and Thursday's?
I think you saw a lot of pride in the way we played, a lot of, willingness to compete on every possession and beat them to their spots. And, sometimes it got us into some trouble as far as fouls concerned, but we kept competing. And I don't know if we were ready to do that consistently the 2 days ago. So I think we were ready from the beginning, and it showed in the way we started. So I'm proud of them. Now we just have to, get ready for the next one.
Shot 50% with 30 team assists, and we saw a lot of plays that there were 3-4 passes before a shot was taken, and it made a difference. What does that say about this team's unselfishness in terms of, who's getting to the basket, who's the one taking the shot, et cetera?
I just think it says a lot about, our willingness and our want to play for and with each other. We're a team that has always shared the ball, especially in my tenure here. And, for us to have 30 assists and Sloot to, not be the leading assist player, it says a lot about, our team and our ball movement and our willingness to sacrifice for each other.
And then after Thursday's game, a couple of the players talked about a priority being placed on getting to the rim early and that making a difference in creating a better flow on offense. We saw that early tonight. How big of a difference maker was that?
It means a lot. It means a lot. It means that we're trying to put you on your heels. When we settle for jump shots early, I think it kind of says something that we're not. And, for us to continuously to attack, at some point you're going to wear down. And so that's the kind of mindset that we have to have.
Thanks, James.
Thanks.
Cheryl Rice Stout, WBZ.
Hi, James. Congratulations.
Thanks, Cheryl.
James, what does it mean to be able to come home, to be able to clinch at home, especially with the crowd being there for you?
It says a lot. Our crowd has endured a long season with us, from not being able to be here, from losing a few nail biters at home. It says a lot for us to be able to clinch it and for us to share our growth as a team with them. I think it signifies a lot, and we're just appreciative that we were able to do it at home. And now we can take our time and continue to try to get better in front of them and just try to have a good showing the next 3 games as well.
What will you try to do differently, maybe these next 3 games, lineup changes or try to get some other players going? What's your main focus?
My main focus is, to build on this win and continue to build our chemistry, having everybody healthy and having everybody available. And so if we can continue to do that, I think it would only help us out. But you saw that, every player that played tonight, it was very important and they stepped up. And we just want to build on this win and just try to continue to focus on us.
We were talking about going to playoffs again, but is this season even the most gratifying because of how difficult things have been?
I don't know if it's the most gratifying because it's the one that we're in now. So I can probably answer that question after the season once I'm not in, season. But, now that we're in it, it's the most gratifying because it's the present. And, I'm just appreciative. I'm appreciative of all the players that I've coached here, but this year is really been special because we actually started off on a downslide, and for us to just bounce back the way we have, it says a lot about, the character of our team.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
James K.
Hey, Coach. Thanks for your time. In her return today, Estudio Fall made a huge impact on the interior today. I mean, are these the kind of games you envisioned her having when you reacquired her this offseason? Yeah,
I did. And it's been a long season for her because of all the stuff that she's had to deal with the, playing in Tokyo and just going back and forth and stuff like that, going to European championships, coming back again and then leaving. Like it's been tough, and she hasn't had a break. She's actually, just in this summertime alone, she's played in 3 different seasons. And so for her to just be here with us and just say, hey, look, I don't need a break. I just want to be there for my teammates. And for her to have a game like this against WNBA MVP, I think it says a lot about her and, her willingness to, sacrifice herself and just be there as much as she can for her teammates. So we were proud of what she did today. A lot of what she did is not going to show in the stat sheet, but her energy was infectious and it was definitely needed.
Kalia took a couple of shots today. I was just curious, how is she doing physically? I mean, she brought that energy like she always has, but is she? Yeah. How is she doing right now?
No, she's fine. I think they bang knees, so a little scary at first. I don't know if you can see under my armpits, but I was sweating a lot at that moment. But I tried to keep my cool so the team could keep their cool. And I checked on her. She told me she was okay, and she just went to the back to have it looked at. And then after she came out, Willis Reed type, and had a good game.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Cheryl raced out. And it's down now. Annie, do you have another question for James?
Yes, just a quick one. Dana and Ruthie didn't get in tonight.
Right.
Is there any reason for that, or are they? Yeah, any reason for that particularly?
I think when you play a 40-minute game, and it's unlike the 48-minute game that you play in the NBA, it's hard to play 12 players. And I think if you go on any roster in the WNBA, you won't see 11 players in a rotation. So now, I mean, we cut it like to 9. No, it's no particular reason. We just played the 9 who were in the rotation and that were up. So I didn't want to take minutes away from Candace, especially as we're tuning up for playoffs. And I didn't want to take minutes away from, our wings that we were trying to find. We were trying to find Allie's rhythm a little bit. So, and probably we could have, played Dana at the point, but we thought Lexi, the last 2 showings has been really good. And her defense and size has been really good. So we just decided to go that route.
And then, sorry, one more quick one. Allie, her finding her rhythm and getting open looks has been a challenge since the return of the Olympic break. And she went off in like 3 games, back-to-back 20-point games, and then got locked up a little bit. How impressed are you by tonight's performance from her and her ability to get open looks?
No, I think her movement and having an extra day's rest also helped a lot. Teams are focused in on her, but I think when you have Diamond and Cobb playing the way that they played today, teams have to pick their poison and they can't leave them because they're creating driving lanes for them. And so with them able to, to have to, stay with those players, it leaves Allie in one-on-one situations or 2-on-2 on the weak side. And she's going to probably win those matchups.
Thanks, James.
All right.
Allison Moran.
Hey, James, congratulations on your 3rd playoff run. It's pretty awesome.
Thank you. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice for you to say.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. That made me blush. Yeah.
I made you blush?
Yeah.
I love it. I've always wanted to do that. I was curious now, with the clinching of the playoff, what's it going to take to make this this roster continue to push despite the tendency to sort of slack off? Okay, we've made our goal. Let's move on from there.
Oh, that never was our goal. For one.
Well, you made one goal.
That's not our goal. It's never been our goal. I mean, it's maybe the goal for our fans, or I don't know, but it's never been our goal. Our goal has, and I've said it, I don't have expectations. We just want to be the best team that we can be, and just continue to get better every day. And so we take it one day at a time. And even though we've qualified for the playoffs, we still have 3 games to actually continue to get better, and we have practice days to continue to get better. And so that's what we're focused on. And once we get to the playoffs, then we can commit to the things that keep to continue playing. And so in order to continue playing, you have to get better every day. And so that's probably that'll probably define our goals as a group more than actually making it to the playoffs.
Gotcha. Thanks, James.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you, James.
Thanks,
We'll
guys.
have Allie Quigley next. Hi, Al. We'll start with pass the ball. Time.
I know. I'm like, we forgot to say we made the playoffs.
Hey, Allie. What is the feeling in the locker room after clinching the 3rd consecutive playoff spot in front of a home crowd?
I mean, it's huge. I think we were just so happy to get the win. We kind of lost it in the moment that, like, oh my God, we made the playoffs. And it's a really hard thing to do. I know, some people might take it for granted, but it's tough to do. It's tough to win in this league. So it's just a really good feeling.
You found so many open spots on the court tonight, and it comes after defenses have really honed in on you after the Olympic break and the back 20+ point performances. So tonight, what was the difference in you getting these open looks again?
I think just staying aggressive. I just had an aggressive mindset, and I think a couple times we got some transition threes. So that's something we haven't had in the last couple of games. So I think it's just playing good defense and getting out in transition where it's harder for the defense to, find me, and just my teammates just setting really good screens and just the ball finding me.
And then after Thursday's game, a couple of your teammates talked about just in these offensive lulls that you guys have experienced, it's a priority to get to the rim, to get to the basket, and you guys opened up the game doing that. How big of what kind of difference did that make in tonight's win?
Huge. I think we not only have to like drive to get the ball closer to the basket, but just getting the ball to our post players on the block is something that I think we need to, focus on. So we were talking a lot about that, like just drive or get the ball to Candace or Steph in the post. And I think they're good decision makers down there and good things will happen. So I think it's something we have to keep remembering moving forward.
And obviously you've been with this guy for a minute now. How much fun is this team having in comparison to others that have, seen similar success, playoff runs, etc.?
Honestly, I think we're just going day by day right now. Obviously it's been tough when you're winning, losing, kind of up and down. So it's been a tough, grind it out kind of year, but I think we're starting to feel that excitement that, the playoffs are right around the corner and we're ready to just be our best selves and just bring that energy. And it's going to be a whole nother level of like excitement and just excitement and bringing the best of ourselves, I think.
Thanks, Allie.
No problem.
James K.
Hey, Allie, thanks for your time. This team has kind of struggled a little bit getting it done at home this season. And what does it just mean to you to be able to beat a team like the Aces at Wintrust? What does that do for your mindset heading it as we get close to the playoffs, I should say?
Yeah, it's huge. I think, any win at this point is huge, but it's always nice to come back after a long road trip and just be in front of your fans and just that kind of comfort. So it was a good feeling.
Yeah. When Diamond and Kalia are both rolling like this on offense, it kind of frees you up a little bit on the outside. Did you feel that today, and just the way that Diamond was able to attack the rim and, Cod doing what she always does?
Yeah, I think it's always good when those two are aggressive and able to get to the free throw line. So, it's going to be a huge part of our offense moving forward, just for them to continue being aggressive on offense and just being able to stay on the floor.
Absolutely. Thanks, Allie.
Mm-hmm.
Carol raced out, WBZ.
Hi, Allie. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Last year, you guys were in the bubble, and that was difficult. And you mentioned how difficult this season is. Is it gratifying the way you were able to meet the challenge and get in the playoffs, at least at this point?
Definitely. I think whenever you can make the playoffs, it's an accomplishment. Like I said before, it's really hard to do. It's hard to win games. So just to be able to be in the playoffs is a good thing. And now it's just about, I think, keeping our momentum going and starting to, play our best basketball.
We have such a long break before you actually play your next game and you have the 3 games left. What do you want to do this time period going into those last 3 games?
I think just rest. We have a couple of days off here. It was a tough 5-game, 11-day road trip. So I think we all just need to rest our bodies and our minds. And then when we get back into the gym, I think we just got to focus on what we're best at. And I think that's just what we have to do is to focus on being the best selves, be focused, be eating right, sleeping good, just enjoying it.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
One more question for Allie before we bring in Candace and Diamond. Allison Moran.
Hey, Allie, congratulations. I
Thank
know
you.
it was a full team effort on the playoffs. So what was your immediate sense after you clinched?
I think I was just happy to get the win, honestly. The fact that we clinched came like a little bit after that. I was just happy that we won and that it was feeling good and we played well. But then obviously knowing that we clinched, it was huge. Just a good feeling just to know that, we're in and we still got to take it day by day though, and not really look forward to, who we're playing in the playoffs and whatnot. It's just about continuing to feel good about ourselves on the court.
You were talking about energy lags in previous conferences, and what's going to keep you from those energy lags and playing with that lack of energy or focus?
Just focusing on what matters the most. And, right now it's playoff time. It's most important part of the year. So not sweating the small things. We got, big goals and big things we need to focus on. So I just think it's, like I've been saying, it's go time, be a professional, and we just got to rise to the moments.
Thanks, Allie.
Thanks,
Congratulations.
guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Allie.
Yep.
We'll have Diamond DeShields up next. Hi, Dee. We'll start with Jackie Powell, Bleacher Report.
Hi, Diamond. Thanks so much for taking the time. I'm writing a story for BR about WNBA rivalries. So this is a little bit adjacent to the latest game. So I want to know how maybe you've seen this matchup with the Aces evolve. And do you think it has the potential to become a marquee WNBA rivalry going forward into the league's next 25 years?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the trajectory of both franchises is trending upward. And based on the history and the way that we play games against one another, I definitely could see, where, it would make sense to see some type of rivalry brewing. At the end of the day, it's just two great franchises that always have heated battles when we match up, and I think that's just what people want to see. So if you call it a rivalry, that's for you to decide.
For sure. And would it be fair to argue that the Hamby Heave from a couple of years ago was sort of that beginning moment? What sort of...
It was the beginning moment for me.
Oh, for you? Okay.
For sure.
Right. And finally, for me on this topic of rivalries, just generally, why is having strong rivalries important to a league that's still growing?
I mean, I think that's just, it's not sports without rivalries. Rivalries are the things you fans get up for. You talk about Duke and North Carolina, all the great sports rivalries that exist. If you can build something like that in the culture of the WNBA, then naturally it's just going to cause more eyes to be on those games. So that's all we want at the end of the day is more visibility. So if it takes a rivalry or two, then so be it.
Thanks, Diamond, and congratulations on the win, but I appreciate that.
Annie from the Sun-Times.
Hey, Diamond. The team got to the rim early tonight, and after, struggling in the first half on Thursday, how big of a difference was that for this team in getting a win tonight?
Oh, yeah, we just had to come out and just have some more pride about the way we played. And I think that offensively, we had to play to our strengths, which was, getting downhill, understanding that they're a heavy nail team, heavy gap team. And trying to use that against them. So, when drives were open, we were able to find spots and hit gaps. And it always helps when you have Allie Quigley on your team as well. That's shooting 4 for 5 from deep. And Candace as well, who did amazing tonight.
You guys also were limited in your number of turnovers, only had 7. What was the difference in terms of that statistic tonight?
Yeah, I mean, we at one point in the season, we were leading the league in turnovers. So we've really put an emphasis on that. Obviously, a huge portion of that responsibility falls on Sloot's shoulders, and she handles it well. She's our floor general. She gets us where we need to go, and she puts the ball where it needs to be. So, shout out to her, really, and all our primary ball handlers. Lexi came in, gave us big minutes. Candace obviously took care of the ball. It was really a group effort, but it always starts with Sloot.
And you've had some big games over the course of the last 4. How are you feeling about this one specifically tonight and putting up 17 to help the team clinch a spot in the playoffs for the 3rd straight year?
I'm feeling pretty even keel about it. I've been just working a lot on my mental approach to games and, not getting too high, not getting too low, taking what's given to me. And so, obviously tonight I did my part as far as contributing in order for our team to get a W, and that's all I really focus on.
Thanks, Diamond.
Cheryl Rice-Out.
Diamond, congratulations on the win and the playoff berth.
Thank you.
Diamond, after a very tough road trip, how invigorating is it to be able to clinch at home at Wintrust?
Yeah, I think it's a few things. It's like we clinched, which is a relief. You know, you kind of get that once you realize, okay, we made it to the postseason. And then understanding that like we haven't played the best at home this year, in my opinion, or we haven't played as well as we could. And so to come out here and to put on a show in front of our fans and to play in the way that we did and to win the way that we did, I think is better than clinching. Just because, you know, you want to be able to put on a good show for the fans and show them that we appreciate their support. So it was really refreshing to come out here on our home court and win in the fashion that we did.
James was mentioning a game like this to bring momentum. Do you feel like you guys could have momentum with these last 3 final games?
Absolutely. I mean, you look at our team and, you know, I don't think that we're the team that you want to see once we start clicking and get rolling. And so I definitely think that the next 3 games we could see some momentum take place, but ultimately it's up to us. So
Does it help that you're having some days off before you do that final push?
Absolutely. I love, we're all very appreciative of the couple of days off that we'll get.
Great, thank you.
James K.
Hey, Diamond, thanks for your time. Since you've come back from the break, it just feels like you've found this groove on offense, attacking the rim. Was there anything that you worked on during the Olympic break to come back playing at a high level like this, where, again, you're just one of the main factors on offense? And, again, you've had a lot of production since the break.
Like I said, I think that most of what I've worked on is just my mental approach to the game. I've always been gifted getting to the rim and playing out in space and doing those things, attacking. But, you know, mentally I've had to really work on to try to get myself to a state of like being okay and detaching myself from the outcome of games, especially when I have bad ones. So, you know, I've really, you know, worked on that aspect of the game, which is, you know, more than just getting in the gym and working on a move or a finish.
Yeah, is that something you've been working on over the course of the season, or is that something that you feel like that has happened since the Olympic break?
Yeah, this has been like, you know, it's just been a long process. Like I really feel a shift in like myself, like internally, as far as how I approach games and just how I feel before and after games. You know, it's very different than, you know, a year ago or 2 years ago. I feel myself kind of just being more calm about things and just taking what's given to me.
Kelsey Plum and Chelsea Gray, you had those 2 assignments at certain points during this game. They both were held, I believe it was like 11 for 26 combined by the last time I checked the stat sheet. What does it mean to just like go in, or like what was just your mindset going into this game, knowing that you're going to have to take on 2 of the best ball handlers in the league?
I mean, you know, 2 of the best ball handlers got to go up against 2 of the best defenders. So, you know, that's the way I kind of view the matchup. It's a challenge. They're 2 great players, 2 great scorers. And when you get a matchup like that, if you make them shoot volume, make them shoot a bunch of shots, and you hold them to a certain percentage, then you've done your job. It doesn't matter if, you know, someone had 20 or 18. Like if they shot 6 for 23 or, you know, high volume, low percentage, then you did your job. So that's really all we really focused on.
Thanks, Diamond.
Allison Moran.
Hey, Diamond, congratulations to you and the playoff the playoffs, they're pretty incredible, just making it there. What was your immediate reaction after you clinched in front of the home crowd?
Well, I didn't know that we clinched until we got into the locker room, to be honest. And so when, it started going around the locker room, I don't know. I don't think I reacted. I still am focused on our positioning. And winning these next 3 games is going to be very important for that. I would love to play in front of our home crowd. So, I don't think I had much of a reaction at all.
How did you assess your own performance tonight? We all thought it was pretty good, but what did you feel?
I think that it was good in the start of the first quarter was really good. The fouls that I've been dealing with over the past few games, I'm not too proud of. I think we'll always be harder on ourselves. So I'd say that I could do better. I did well enough, like I said, for us to contribute to the win tonight. But I definitely felt like there was more that I could have done tonight.
So, and the final question is, what do you feel that particularly you can improve on through positive talk or your mental health, as you were mentioning, or your mental attitude towards the game?
Yeah, I think just like getting over the mistakes, not letting them linger. You get in foul trouble, let it go. Pick up a 3rd foul, don't get a tech afterwards. Stuff like that, just letting things flow in and out, let things move freely. Don't attach yourself to them, and give yourself a chance, to be better than you were the play before, the mistake that you just made.
Great. Thank you, Diamond, and good luck.
Thank you.
Jackie Powell, do you have another question?
Nope, sorry about that.
Oh, no problem. James, what about you?
Oh, I don't. I apologize.
Okay, no problem. We'll have Candace next. Thank you, Diamond.
Thanks.
You going to the game? When's the game? Tuesday. Okay. White Sox, right?
Tripping.
Okay. Candace Parker, thank you for joining us. We'll start with Annie Costable from the Sun-Times.
This chair's trying to get me.
We'll just
Hey,
unmute you
Candace.
really quick.
I think you're muted, just putting it out there now. But my first question just about
You would think I would learn after all these Zoom calls for the last 3 years, but
no, hey, I figured I would tell you now,
Thank you.
so it wasn't like an awkward, you start answering the question and then I got to tell you. But your career is obviously speaks for itself. You return home and you clinch your first, the team clinches 3rd straight playoff appearance. You're part of that, wearing a Sky jersey. What does this one mean to you?
it means a lot. I think this season has been difficult, just with injuries and the ins and outs of the season. And so you never take for granted in the league that we play in to clinch playoffs. That's something you never take for granted. So obviously we have our work cut out for us, but for today, we'll celebrate that.
It was a completely different first, second quarter. You guys were shooting above 70%, into the second quarter, which again, from Thursday's performance is a big difference. What was the difference maker in that regard?
Well, I think, in basketball, it's a game of sometimes when you see the shot go in, you see the shot go in and then you have the confidence to take another one. And, vice versa. I think when you sometimes don't see the shot go in, then, it has an impact. So I think we did a good job defensively. And I think that allows us to kind of get into that secondary playmaking type of game. And so we were able to knock down shots. I mean, like I said, Diamond was being aggressive. Kyle was getting to the lane. Allie being Allie, Sloot running the team. So
I mean, it makes things easier when the ball is moving.
Yeah, and last question for me, what does it do for this team when you guys get to the rim the way you were able to early? And just honestly throughout the entire game, I don't have the stats of how many points you had in the paint, but how much of a difference does that make for this team's success?
I think it makes a huge difference for us. I think any team that's able to get to the paint, you either draw and you're able to kick, or you finishing at the basket and you're putting the defense at a choice of playing, good solid defense or fouling. And so I think when we're able to do that, we're definitely going to be successful.
Thanks, Candace.
Mm-hmm.
Jackie Powell, please report.
Hey, Candace, thanks so much for joining us. First of all, congratulations on the win, making the playoffs. I'm writing a story at Bleacher Report about WNBA rivalries, past, present, and future. And so I'm curious as to how maybe you've seen this matchup with the Aces evolve. And if you think it has the potential to become a future marquee WNBA rivalry as the league moves into its next 25 years.
For me, it was interesting because I think it started in college when everybody kept saying like Georgia was our rivals, and we beat Georgia every single time and we were winning championships. And it was the same thing with LA when LA kept being like Minnesota's our rivals, but they were winning the championships and we weren't. So I think a rivalry starts when you start winning championships. That's what it is. We talked about the Knicks in Miami back in the day. We talk about LA and Boston. You're battling for championships. So until that happens, which is what both of our franchises want, I don't think it can be a rivalry.
That's fair. I appreciate that. I'm curious as to, you mentioned the LA Lynx rivalry, which was, at its time, that was huge. What do you think the reason is for why we don't really see that with two other teams going on right now?
Well, LA has 3 total championships. The Lynx have 4. That's a pretty good rivalry. Think about 7 of the 25 years, really 24 because we haven't had a champion this year. So like I said, when you start cutting down nets and you start putting up trophies and getting rings, like that to me is a rivalry. Like nobody cares about a regular season game. Like, yeah, you can play teams tough in the regular season, but when you're battling for rings, and honestly, like that Lynx rivalry didn't become a rivalry till we won a championship. And then it goes from there.
Right. The final one for me, and I really appreciate, you being honest and open about this. What is really why is having strong rivalries important in a league that is still growing and that wants to be, viewed at the same level as all other professional sports?
It gets attention. It brings scrutiny. It gets conversations. I grew up a Bulls fan because my grandparents, my parents, my brothers were Bulls fans. And I think when you start having rivalries, it's like pick a side. You can go for, Madrid and Barca. You can go overseas, Fener and Galatasaray. Here, the Lakers in Boston. It was like crazy when Rondo decided to play for the Lakers when he was a Boston Celtic, So it's like you have those rivalries, and I think it breeds conversation and, it breeds competition between family members, between friends. And I think that's what you need, like you need those generational fans of a certain team.
Great. I really appreciate that.
No
and
problem.
Congratulations
Thank
on
you.
Playoffs and the win.
Thank you.
Shell raised out.
Candace, how you doing?
Good. Thank you.
It's been a tough road at home to win games, but to be able to win today to clinch, how gratifying is that?
It's gratifying for sure. Obviously we didn't have our sights. I don't even think that was a topic today of clinching. I knew we were close. But I think it's just about playing well going into the postseason. With the WNBA format, it's like, you have a couple teams that are guaranteed, a series, and then some teams are fighting to even just get into a series. And so I think it's just about, who can put together and play good basketball going into the postseason.
With your background, as you were mentioning about postseason, how do you break it down? How's your mindset? What do you think of the next few days, the next few weeks? How do you break that down?
I think your mindset is you've done all you can. You've prepared. You feel good. I think it's the regular season that gets your body kind of in tune, if that makes sense. So you're not reinventing the wheel in postseason. Like, you do what's gotten you there. And so that's always been kind of, you don't reinvent what you do. You don't take different shots than you would in the regular season. And there's that trust. And I think it is about feeling good. Going into like winning championships, I mean, there's so many times where we forget, like, it does take a little bit of luck. You got to have that on your side a little bit. But after that, it is about the team that has prepared and taking care of business and is playing the right way. They get momentum going into the postseason.
When you first signed with the team, there was a lot of expectations, of course, of what you guys can do. Has this been a tough journey?
It's been tough, but I mean, listen, you play the hand you're dealt. I know that from my entire career. Have things always been fair? No, but guess what? Like, it's what it is. The sun comes out the next day. You got to keep going. So obviously we had expectations of, not clinching now, maybe clinching ahead of time and maybe being in a different spot, but it is what it is. I think we have a resilient team and, we've learned from it. And going into postseason, I think we're in a position to be able to get momentum and to be playing well and to be playing the way. Because if we were playing like this and a lot of the other home games that we lost, I don't know if those would have been L's.
Great. Thank you for your time.
Mm-hmm.
James K.
Hey, Candace, thanks for your time.
No problem.
Today you all held Asia Wilson to 7 of 21 shooting. She only had 4 attempts compared to last game. To say that there were up for a couple of questionable calls. But what adjustments did you make heading into this one and just in the way that you executed tonight or today?
I think the biggest thing for our team is we can't put them to the free throw line. I mean, we saw how the first quarter played out. We saw how, last game just, leaving it up for chance, whether it's second chance points, whether it's whatever it is. We got to stop fouling. And I think we did a good job of staying up and in. Like I said, Asia's a great player. She's going to make, tough shots, but it's just trying to make her make those tough shots, And, I think we have a number of bigs that can come in and disrupt, and that's a luxury that we have.
Absolutely. One of the things that has stood out the last few games is the way that Diamond has been able to come off the bench and just attack the rim with just more efficiency. Is there anything that you've been telling her as she's gone through her struggles this season, but is there anything that you've said to her over these last few games, just the way that she's been able to be this effective?
Yeah, I think just in terms of Diamond continuing to be in Diamond, I think as a professional, you go through those ups and downs and it's just about staying with it. And she stayed with it. And, I think she's having a huge impact, obviously attacking the basket, but also defensively. I think we're a different team when she's attacking the basket and on the perimeter defending like she does.
Thanks for your time.
Mm-hmm. Ka, I'm in media. Bye.
Allison Moran.
Hey, Candace, congratulations.
Thank you.
Tell Kai to stop bothering you.
FaceTimes me when I'm in media. It's like ridiculous. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. First, congratulations.
Thank you.
Second of all, in terms of what kind of impact does it have on you now to have clinched, to have brought this team to a certain level? And the expectations are now the playoffs and doing well there. What does that kind of expectation do to you?
I think you play for the postseason. I mean, nobody plays for regular season victories. You play to be able to go deep in the playoffs. And you know, I think that's our goal. Our goal is not to clinch. Our goal is to, you know, to make some noise in the playoffs. And, you know, I think all of us had the expectation, and we still do. And so I think it means a lot, but I don't think that's something that we're, you know, satisfied with.
It ain't the goal. It's so in terms of your own mental preparation and the preparation for the team, how do you go about the next week or the next couple of weeks in terms of prepping for the next step?
Well, we still have, you know, games left. We have a little bit of break, so we're able to kind of get our legs underneath us and get back to it. But, you know, we got to continue to attack this and get better. We've missed with our entire team, we haven't played but a handful of games. And so we got to get back to the basics and try to prepare going in the postseason.
Great. Thanks, Candace.
Mhm.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Annie, do you have a question?
Yeah, sorry, quick one, Candace. I saw Holly Morlick was here. I wonder just
Holly was here?
Wasn't she?
I don't think so.
Sitting on the sideline?
No, that's not Holly.
Sarcastic.
No, I was like, that's not Holly. No.
Okay. Well, never mind then.
Okay.
That was it.
She was being sarcastic.
Oh, I was like, Holly is not here.
Wait, was she not here or was she here?
No, Holly was not here. Holly Warlick was
Okay.
here.
Okay, that was my
Okay.
question.
Yes, she was, Candace. Did you see her?
No.
Stop it. Stop it. Okay, well done.
I'm serious. She
Go back
wasn't
with it.
here. Like, I'm
Okay.
being serious. I'm not joking. I know I joke a lot, but I'm not joking this time.
All right. We'll watch the replay of that. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Candace.
Thank you.